This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Atlanta, Georgia. I am here with the L.E.M.O.N.S Foundation. Since 2019, they've been building relationships with local small entrepreneurs and businesses to inspire youth to rise to their full potential. I'm joined here with the founder, Kabral Lemons. Thanks so much for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
I'm going to start off a little bit about yourself. You were formerly educated at the Metropolitan College at Denver. You have worked on projects with transitional foster youth. Your past experience as a youth support supervisor and a youth coach has fed your passion for helping others. Share with me, first of all, why you began the L.E.M.O.N.S Foundation.
Well, it started beginning when I was younger. I remember being a middle child, and I always felt like I had to be responsible for my younger brother and had to take stuff from my older brother. And mother was a single parent, so I always was in this position to serve either the household. I was in a position to cook or finish things off for my mother. And then I always felt like, there were some ways in which there could be some discrepancies in the family in which some trauma happened. And I turned that trauma into triumph when I got to a certain place in my life so I can be what I need to be when I got to this position I am today.
Excellent. That's a great story. They say it is not what you know, but who you know that really matters. Why is building relationships for our youth within the community more needed, maybe now than ever before?
Well, if you look at what's going on in the world today, there's a big issue around youth, and those youth are coming from the people that's in our lives or lack thereof. So if you can build relationships with people who might not look like you or look like you, it can put you in a direction where you can get ahead and stay inside of your community. Like I say all the time, the only thing different for me is I got in my environment. So I inspired to build relationships outside the environment so those people can look at those people like, look, he's a hardworking person or he got potential. Let's help build this relationship and get him to the next part of his life in which they might need.
Excellent. They say it takes a village to raise a child. Is this your way of doing your part to serve your community, would you say?
Absolutely, man. Years ago, I just got tired of reading the news and social media and seeing what's going on in the world. And I said, you know what? If somebody says, if you're complaining about not changing, you're going along with the problem. So I stepped outside of my career and started a nonprofit. I had to work for nonprofit juvenile detention centers to be the change that I want to see and not talking about it and doing it. So I started in the foster home, juvenile detention centers. And when I went to those places, I was like, man, it's good, but they're still kind of underserved and still kind of going in the direction in which would lead them down a pathway to be, held down per se. But I just continues to be the village that I want to see. And it's been helping transition a lot of lives.
Excellent. A lot of people read the news like you did, read social media, but then they walk away and say, what can I do? You actually did something about it. There's only so much that our youth can learn about the world by just reading and learning in school. This is hands-on experience. Why is that a powerful way to learn?
Well, because when you're in a subjective role as a child, you're always listening and have to adhere to what your parents or parent people are doing. But when you get to a point in your life where you need people in your life, you have to give them an opportunity to get a way out. Because if you're not supporting their ideas and interests that's positive, they're going to go to whatever's in their environment. Sometimes their environment is conducive to what's around them. So if I can give them an opportunity to go to Lake Tahoe to serve food and drinks to people, and athletes, to people they might look on TV, it enhances their senses and it enlives their morale, and they want to go back, not because it's the athletes, because they've seen themselves doing something and it creates experience. It happened to me when I went to Colorado for summer. I saw people who didn't look like me. I got a job and I just wanted to go back. It was something to get away, to say I did something and go back to. When you go back home, not that you're looking down at your people, looking like, you know what, I can do more for myself. So it creates opportunities and options for them when they get to a certain level in life.
Let's face it, we're all different people in different types of environments. I wasn't the same son for my dad in my own house that I was out when I was working in the street. And so I think that's really important. This hands-on work, takes place at festivals, concerts, sporting events, PGA tournaments, and more. What type of work do you offer at these events for the youth?
First, a lot of them, I get referrals from coming to juvenile detention to the foster homes, probation officers, First, they come on as volunteers. When they come on as volunteers, I have to get them under direction. I'm very direct with them. I speak the language of them. The language of the youth could be sometimes negative or positive, but it's never negative. It's in a way that's being directed towards them and speaking the language. I said, this is what I need you to do. So when you're speaking to them as that, just like that, it becomes very positive. And in these places, it puts them in a position where they have to understand quickly and on the run. So they're in the front of the building. We as adults are on the back, and we're leading them, educating these mentees on necessary skills. And we turn that L.E.M.O.N.S name into an abbreviation, leading eager mentees on necessary skills. And once you're leading them from the back as adults, and they're in the front of it, when you go to a place and you see an adult that's speaking the language, smiling and serving you, it makes you like, man, that young man got potential. Here's my card. I know this person. It creates to build the relationships, those bridges to where you want to get to in the next part of your life.
Excellent. So we're talking about a powerful, positive message, but at the same time, tough love, real words that you understand with these youth, and they respect you for that. I mean, not only do you connect with businesses, but also with coaches, teachers, therapists, doctors, scientists, lawyers, farmers, even athletes. How do these professional individuals play a part in your organization?
They're big. Because keep in mind, I'm another person that says they want to do something for the youth. And let's be real. When you don't have a chain or a car or something or backs for something that they can look up to, they're not paying much attention to. But when you can put money in their pockets, and then you can put them in close proximity to those people that they look on TV, they respect you. They want to go back. They want to be like it. They feel closer because none of their friends are doing that. None of their friends got to go watch, Devontae Adams and see these people at these golf tournaments, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and these people coming up to them and buying hot dogs from them and then taking pictures with them. And they play the same sport, and it gives them a little inspiration to keep going. And they'll say, hey, keep going. You could be where I am. But you build these bridges with these people, and those people, they're another part of our village that we want to get to. And there's steps. There's going to be people in your corner that's going to help you get to it. It just depends on what people you take. You can take the negative approach of the streets, or you can take the approach of the community, and that's the part I like to be, just serving where it matters the most, and that's what we stand for.
Excellent, man. I believe in teaching my own kids to be smart, but I'm a strong believer in street smarts. Your LIT program and others help navigate our youth and kind of connect the dots out there in the real world. What is LIT? Explain that kind of bit for me.
It's leadership and training. So we hooked up with public schools and teaching a program in schools. So we take probably 10 to 15 of the most troubled youth in the schools, and we put them in the classroom. I walk in the classroom, I shut the door, I'll turn their music on. They'll come in there, they'll tell jokes, they'll curse and everything. And I get down to the language I might pull out some snacks. First, I pull out the snacks, and then when they answer something right, they'll get that. I'm not rewarding bad behavior with snacks, but I'm saying I'm rewarding you for doing what you're supposed to do. But leadership and training focuses on jobs, any kind of diversity they might face in the school, is respect, police brutality, things like that. And we will have natural situations going in the world, and we will put it in our own words and talk about it. You'll be amazed at what they'll go see on TV, then come back and talk about it as far as politics, sports, and how we combine it into the program. We have a 12-week program that we run ongoing. And then once they get up there, they go to the course, and then their friends that's not in the course that may be doing a little bit better in school, and they want to come to the class because we're speaking. Because once we get in that room, what we say in there stays, and it becomes a club rather than, I say, when the first time I get in there, say, anybody know why you're in there? They'll go, well, he's in here, so I know it's a place for not good kids. I said, that could be true, but that could not. You're being awarded and you're being helped by somebody who looks like you, believes you. But when you speak the language, you get this leadership and training, and they use the words, their jargon, lit, because everything's lit these days. And we break it down on a 12-week course and 8 modules to understand how this can affect. You might take politics and you might mix it with street politics, but at the same time, it's all politics. Selling drugs could be this out through a window, might be the same thing as selling food out a window, out of a food truck. So we say it's the same thing, but there's a little bit more positive outcome when you go the right way. So leadership and training is something that we love, and we continuously teach, not just students and teachers too. There's a program for teachers as well too. Again, we're going to those communities where most people won't go, and we're just serving where it matters the most.
That is excellent. And so, like you say, you're not rewarding bad behavior, but honestly, many times we have to reward people just for showing up. Once they show up, then you're going to connect. Then they're open to the change that you've got to teach them, and maybe they're willing to learn. That's pretty exciting. I mean, Kabral, you are deeply devoted to your cause to become the #1 community member that builds relationships so that our youth can rise to their full God-given potential. Is this rewarding work for you?
Oh man, it's so rewarding. Sometimes, a lot of times that it's not rewarding because when they get through with me, they go back to the community, and a lot of them fall through the trap of the system. That's what happens. But instead of me getting down about the ones that fall, there's always 1, 2, or 3 that say, you know what, I want to go this direction. And that's the rewarding part about it. And when you see the transformations in the words and the action that you put into these young people start to transition because they're mimicking your work ethic, they're mimicking your jargon, they're mimicking the LIT program, the Limits Foundation, and now they get to rise up through the ranks, becoming a volunteer to actually being employed, to actually organizing the contracts and being entrepreneur mind instead of being in a position of a job, which is nothing wrong. But they want to own, they want to know about businesses, but they become from volunteers to entrepreneur, and they get to talk the jargon as a young professional to people in contracts and programs and stakeholders as well too. I have great success stories, and those are the ones that I'm focused on as well as the ones that's not. But everybody's not going to make it, but the ones that show up, the ones we're going to continue to work with and continue to do our work.
And it's a great story. I appreciate you allowing us to basically get your mission out there and share it with our viewers. Viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website and his contact information. I mean, if you have youth that would like to join this foundation, or if you're a business or professional that wants to partner up, obviously reach out today. Once again, that is the Lemons Foundation, enhancing the lives of young adults. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.